Hey gorgeous! If you're anything like me, your garden isn't just a hobby, it's a passion. And let me tell you, every year I spend tons of hours tending to my space, weeding, watering, fertilizing, planting. And throughout the years, I have tried many tools that promise to help me save time, to get things done quicker, to get things growing better. But also, I have added a bunch of accessories, outdoor decor to my garden that make me happy. And if we're being honest, many of those tools and accessories have been a waste of money. But others have worked so well that I keep using them year after year. And today I am going to share with you a list of my favorite gifts to give to another gardener. And when it comes to choosing gifts to give other gardeners, I feel very comfortable recommending these things because they are part of my garden. So whether you're treating yourself today or trying to share the love with other people that are also gardeners, I hope this list gives you an idea of what to give, and the best thing is that they're all under $50. First, I am going to start with my pink pruners that I absolutely love. Not only they are a must tool in my garden, I use them all the time, whether if I'm working outside during the spring or all the way in the fall, I have my pruners with me most of the time. But leaving the fact that they're great quality, that I use them all the time, and they're always part of my garden, they're pink, and that for me is a big plus. Next is books, and I can probably just make one entire video about all of the books that I have, that I am currently reading, and the books that I want to get. But today I am just going to recommend 3 of them. It was really hard choosing which ones to recommend, but I am trying to keep it very general. The first is this Cut Flower Garden book by Floret, and if your friend, whoever you're giving this book to is into flowers, they are going to love this book. It's full of resources, tips, tricks. The pictures are amazing, and the person who's receiving this book is just going to get a bunch of great ideas. Highly, highly recommend these books. The next book is one by one of my favorite YouTubers. I follow him kind of everywhere. Charles Downing is just a master when it comes to growing food. And I love that he has a book where he shares his tips and techniques with us because there is so much knowledge in this book that the person who's growing vegetables at home can learn from. And the last one is this book that I feel like it's very, very underrated. Not a lot of people have this book. Not a lot of people know about it. And I think that they are missing out. This book is full with ideas and techniques that any gardener, big or small, with a huge amount of acres, with a very, very small space, can learn from and get inspired by. There is so much in this book, and this is one of my, and this book is definitely a must. It doesn't matter if you're growing flowers, it doesn't matter if you're growing vegetables, get this book. Next in my list is roses. Now, I am not talking about any of those cheap roses that you can find at your local hardware store. I am not saying that there is something wrong with those. I am recommending that if you're going to give a rose, make that rose a David Aston rose. And if you don't know who David Aston was, he was a breeder of roses from England that it was just, I mean, those David Aston roses are just spectacular. David Aston roses are hard to find locally, so my recommendation will be to go to the website, order one, and get it shipped to you. There are tons of roses to choose from. One of my favorites in particular that I have a few of those in my garden already is Bathsheba, and I'm going to show you exactly what Bathsheba looks like. And believe me, if somebody was gifting me a birthday, Christmas, Valentine's gift, if somebody was giving me a David Aston rose, that person will have a special place in my heart. So go for that kind of rose. Protective sleeves is something that I didn't start using until 2023 in my garden, and they quickly are becoming a must tool for me. Some days when it's really hot outside, I really don't want to be wearing long sleeves. I really don't want to be wearing sweaters or hoodies, but I want to protect my skin from the sun, from the plants that I am working with. If that person that you're gifting has really sensitive skin, gifting a pair or two of protective sleeves is going to be great. They have tons of patterns. My favorites are the sunflower pattern because they just kind of go with everything, and who doesn't want to wear sunflowers? More than likely, the person that you're gifting this loves hummingbirds, and a hummingbird feeder will be a great gift. Now, you can find these feeders pretty much everywhere at your local blue or yellow store. You can order them online. There are all kinds of materials and patterns and colors used. I found that the red ones, anything with red as far as hummingbird feeders go, will really get better attraction as far as the birds finding these things. But overall, I think that this will be a great gift for somebody that loves to garden. The next one is a hat, and I'm going to post a link to my favorite hat, the one that I go to almost every time. Now, when it comes to hats, I have a lot of them. I just collect a bunch of them, but I have 2 or 3 that are my favorites, especially one that is the one that I just go to almost every time. One, because it fits me well, and 2, because it's a little bit heavier than the others. So if it's windy outside, I don't have to worry about that thing just flying off my head. But when it comes to gardening hats, you cannot go wrong. Just choose a couple if you have the budget to gift. That gardener in your life will appreciate it. Next is a garden trash bag, and I use this thing almost 100% outside, you guys. I probably can get a couple of good seasons before I have to order a new one. This thing gets used and reused every single week, especially during the gardening season when things are happening. I use this thing almost every day. If I'm cleaning, if I am weeding, if I am doing anything else, that thing is always next to me. When you order one of these, make sure that you get the one with the hard bottom, because that's going to be easier for you to move it around. Some people have told me that you can find these locally at some hardware stores, but I get better luck ordering through Amazon. And like I said, you can get a good couple of seasons. If you are not gardening too much, you can probably get 3 seasons out of 1. But regardless, I always go for these trash bags. These next 2 items, you can find them locally at Menards. If you have one, go and check them out. One is a watering can that I have in 2 different colors, yellow and teal. Those water cans are, in my opinion, one of the best as far as quality, as far as build. I love them. I have a couple of those in my garden. And next will be a shovel, and it's a mini shovel. It's a kindergarten type of shovel. I love those things. If you have smaller plants, if you have tight spaces where sometimes you need to dig, but you don't really need a big size shovel, these things will save you. And like I say, if you have a Menards, you can find them locally there. If not, you can find watering cans and small shovels at your local Lowe's or Home Depot. Those make great gifts. And lastly will be gardening gloves. Now, sometimes I just don't need anything in my hands. I just don't use any gloves. But when I do, there is always a type that I get from my local Lowe's that just fit me well. Now, I am a little picky when it comes to gardening gloves. I don't like the big chunky ones, but I do like the ones that feel like I'm not wearing anything, but I'm still getting protection from it. These green ones from Lowe, they are called some sort of max grip or something like that. They are available at Lowe's, and they're very, very inexpensive. Depending the season, you can find them from $8 to $9, and they last me quite a long time. If I was great at not forgetting about them in my garden, I will probably just need 1 or 2 pairs for the whole season. So if you have a Lowe's available, check them out the next time that you're there for yourself or for gifting as well. Now, if your budget is a little bit more than $50, then you can get a combination of all of this that I recommended. You can get a book, some gloves, some pink pruners, or you can get a hat with a garden trash bag and a watering can. But don't forget, you can always just go to your local garden nursery and get a gift card for that person. Other than the David Aston roses, I am not really recommending that you give plants, because you don't know if that person already has that type of plant, if they like that kind of flower, or if they even have the room to grow the plant that you're giving them. So giving a gift card sometimes is better than having to guess if whatever you're gifting, if it's a plant in this case, if it's gonna work for them. Now, if your budget allows it and you really wanna impress that gardener in your life, I have 2 recommendations. One will be a hose reel, which I have a couple of those already in my garden. I love them. I actually just got a 3rd one for my garden that I will be placing close to my raised beds. You'll see that in the future. And the next will be an arbor. I love this arbor in my garden. It is covered with clematis and it's just a beautiful focal point. I am going to have links in the video's description for every single item that I talk about. If you love this video, you're going to love this one. Check it out and let me know what you think. And I will see you in the next time.